The campaign for Delhi's 7 seats has reached fever pitch, with the Prime Minister accusing his opponents of being communal. Arvind Kejriwal, on his part, is playing his own brand of politics. He's targeting the Home Minister Amit Shah. He's suggesting that the Prime Minister is campaigning to make him the Prime Minister. Delhiites are currently witnessing and currently feeling ahead of the ballot being cast. Here are some quick reactions and a ground report.
Right before me is a World Heritage Site, but that tag is not enough to highlight the significance of these massive red sandstone walls. The 17th century marvel, the Red Fort or Lal Killa, overlooks a vibrant market and is a food lover's paradise. This fort has seen the rise and fall of dynasties of 400 years, and yet its charm has never faded away. And it won't be an exaggeration to say this fort is the ultimate dream of any Indian politician. When an Indian Prime Minister delivers an address from the ramparts of this iconic fort, the world listens. But only a handful of Indian politicians have successfully navigated the meandering streets leading to this fort. And this summer, the fight is on, with Narendra Modi eyeing a third term, even as Arvind Kejriwal and his India allies put a fight in the heart of India's political capital. But at the moment, we are interested in knowing what is in the heart of Delhi's voters.
दिल्ली में जो लुटियन गैंग है, जो खान मार्केट गैंग है, उसने इन गौर सांप्रदायिक लोगों की रक्षा करने में अपनी जिंदगी खपा दी है। उनके पापों को देश की जनता से छुपाने का पाप किया है। और मैं इस चुनाव में एक लड़ाई लेकर के निकला हूं। जिन लोगों ने भारत के संविधान के साथ धोखा किया है, जिन्होंने भारत की बिन सांप्रदायिकता की भावना के साथ धोखा किया है, अब समय आ गया है ऐसे गौर सांप्रदायिक लोगों को देश पहचाने, मेरे मुसलमान भाई भी पहचाने।
दिल्ली में हमने भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्रीय सरकार ने 54,000 करोड़ रुपए का काम किया है। Now let me complete, but this is just for my ministry. माननीय गडकरी जी ने एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस की है 1-2 दिन पहले, कल शाम को। उन्होंने कहा कि उन्होंने जो बड़ी सड़कें बनवाई है पेरिफेरी में, 65,000 करोड़ की बनाई है। तो ये 2 मंत्रालय के आप मना लीजिए, गडकरी जी की 65,000 करोड़ और मेरे मंत्रालय के 54,000 करोड़, और हमारी बड़ी और मिनिस्ट्रीज हैं। मैं इसलिए अब आपसे ये इंटरेक्शन कर रहा हूं टू टेल यू कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ी, और आने वाले 5 साल में हम और भी दिल्ली के लिए करेंगे।
आपको प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपना वारिस चुना है, इस बात का आपको इतना अहंकार हो गया कि आप लोगों को गालियां देने लगे, धमकियां देने लगे। अभी तो आप पीएम बने नहीं हैं और आपको इतना अहंकार हो गया। आपकी जानकारी के लिए बता दूं कि आप पीएम नहीं बन रहे हैं, क्योंकि 4 जून को लोग बीजेपी की सरकार नहीं बना रहे हैं। बीजेपी जा रही है, थोड़ा अहंकार कम कीजिए और जनता को गाली मत दीजिए।
कांग्रेस के तमाम वोटरों को मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि आपके नेता राहुल गांधी जब इस बार लोकसभा चुनाव में वोट डालने जाएंगे तो वो झाड़ू का बटन दबाएंगे। और आम आदमी पार्टी के चाहने वालों को कहना चाहता हूं कि जब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी वोट देने जाएंगे तो वो पंजे का बटन दबाकर कांग्रेस के प्रत्याशी को जिताएंगे। ये है इंडिया गठबंधन।
Well, that's what we are hearing from the many politicians who have a lot to say about how voters in Delhi should cast their vote and what should help them decide. Let's get perspective on what is at play, how high the stakes are this time for Delhi. And to do this, we have Indian politician and former spokesperson of the Congress, Sanjay Jha, joining us. He's joined by political analyst Tushar Gupta, and Smita Gupta is also with us. She is a senior journalist. Great to have you with us this evening. Sanjay Jha, You tell us first, how high are the stakes this time for the Battle of Delhi in these elections for Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party and, of course, the BJP? So far, it has been quite acrimonious, especially over the alleged liquor scam, hasn't it?
I think Delhi is going to be one aggressive and no holds barred contest, because I think the way the Aam Aadmi Party was literally hounded ever since they won the election, and they won with a very overwhelming majority. I think the BJP, using the office of the Lieutenant Governor, literally went after them hammer and tongs. And I think the Delhi liquor scam is a perfect example of the kind of political vendetta politics that you can see. And the truth is that there is today, as we talk, a national momentum against the Bharatiya Janata Party. You'll remember that when the elections began, there was a general feeling amongst a lot of people that this is going to be a monotonous election. It's almost done and dusted, if you were to believe what the BJP cheerleaders were saying. And as we talk, even today, there is such a massive shift, which is why they say a week is a long time in politics, that now the conversation has become about who is going to get to the halfway mark. And progressively, it appears that the BJP has slipped below the India Alliance numbers. Now, coming down to Delhi, one thing is pretty obvious, that arresting Arvind Kejriwal, I thought, was a tipping point. Here is a man who's had a very unblemished track record. He has humbled national parties. I'm a supporter of the Congress, but I got to concede that the Aam Aadmi Party has run a brilliant campaign consistently over the time that it has been there. And just to answer your question in short, I think in putting him in jail on the Delhi liquor scam, on the words of a gentleman called Sarath Reddy, who suddenly turned approver after being earlier called as the kingpin of the Delhi liquor scam, who then funds the BJP with 55 or 59 crores in electoral bonds, was a pretty obvious conspiracy that the world could see, that it was a quid pro quo done to silence a very aggressive political adversary. And I think these are going to be serious consequences for the BJP. And with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress coming in alliance.
Right.
Remember that the Congress has been in government, or was in government, for nearly 15 years, back to back with Mrs. Sheila Dikshit as chief minister.
Yes.
And now it's Aam Aadmi Party. I think you're going to see a huge
So we'll
traction.
talk about the coming together of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. But Smita Gupta, you tell us, like Sanjay Jha is pointing out, the impact of the liquor scam, the CBI's investigations, the arrests, how much have these really dented the Aam Aadmi Party's image among the electorate this time?
The thing is that the timing of Mr. Kejriwal's arrest just before, on the eve of the elections, I think tells its own story, and it has told its story to the voters also. As Sanjay Jha was pointing out, Mr. Kejriwal has had an unblemished record in terms of personal integrity. And therefore, this, embroiling him in this liquor scam, I don't think has really played out very well with voters. I myself, I did not travel in Delhi as much as I did in Uttar Pradesh. And let me tell you, in Uttar Pradesh, without my asking, in so many villages, people raised the issue of Kejriwal. And they saw him as a heroic figure. So if even in UP, in neighboring UP, they see him as a heroic figure, I don't think, it's really damaged his image over here in Delhi.
His image, Tushar Gupta,
Yeah.
I'll just go across and find out from him. Mr. Gupta, as far as the BJP's campaign, especially in Delhi, is concerned, some would say it's a negative campaign because we've talked about the liquor scam lately, the Swati Maliwal issue as well. What's your assessment of its strategy this time, especially when it comes to playing up the liquor scam?
Well, the BJP does not have to play up the liquor scam. It's being played up by the Aam Aadmi Party itself. Arvind Kejriwal is going around town saying that if you vote for me, I won't have to go to the jail on June 2. I don't even know what that means, but that's what he's claiming. Look, since 2014, there has been an attempt, a failed attempt within the media ecosystem to portray Kejriwal as some sort of a political equivalent to Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha elections. Of course, the Aam Aadmi Party has won the state assembly election, snatching the state from the Congress, which ruled it quite convincingly under Sheila Dikshit. But there has been this attempt that somehow Arvind Kejriwal is a big factor in the Lok Sabha elections. It's not. If I look at the elections of 2009 to 2019, and mind you, 2009 was a Congress sweep with 5 of the 7 seats with a greater than 50% vote share. But between 2009 and 2019, the total votes polled that is not registered, polled, has gone up by 50%. In the same duration, across these 3 Lok Sabha elections, the NDA vote jump is around 142%. So people are resonating with the BJP, with the NDA, when it comes to the Delhi Lok Sabha elections, the 7 parliamentary constituencies. Now, if anyone wants to claim that this is vendetta politics, liquor policies is vendetta politics, I heard Mr. Jha, he's a supporter of the Congress. It was the Congress that filed a complaint in the liquor policy scam. Ajay Makan, and maybe even Supriya Shrinathan, they all did elaborate press conferences explaining the scam and what it was all about. Pawan Khera, one of the stalwarts of the Congress, actually said in a press conference that the BJP took action upon our request. My only worry for the Congress is they had an opportunity to make a comeback in Delhi. Look, they had 50% vote share in 5 seats in 2009. No reason they couldn't have made a comeback. I do not see why Congress agreed to an alliance in Delhi while they do not have an alliance in Punjab, because that would have helped them get back their vote share. Now, what has happened? People see a friction between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. Clearly, they are not going to go for it. Arvind Kejriwal brings his baggage from the last 10 years. Congress doesn't feel very convincing candidates. So the benefit is
non-alliance between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress in Punjab really affect the electorate in Delhi, you think?
There is no alliance. That's the point.
No, there isn't. But would that affect Delhi voters?
Absolutely, absolutely. There is a huge chunk of Punjabi voters. There's a huge chunk of people who live in this region. Do not think of Punjab and Delhi as isolated political entities. Because when Arvind Kejriwal did well in Delhi in 2015, there was a spillover in Punjab as well, which enabled him to become the principal opposition party in the 2017 state assembly elections. There is going to be a spillover. Right now, people are asking, Kejriwal has a baggage of the last 10 years. There are corruption scams. You may want to call it what you want, but Manish Sisodia has been denied relief from the High Court just yesterday. So people also see through as to what is happening. Now the whole Swati Maliwal incident, even though it's being investigated, it's utterly shameful. In a week where Delhi is deciding its Lok Sabha MPs, it's debating how its state government treats its Rajya Sabha MPs. Utterly shameful. So the benefit is going to be with the BJP. Clearly, the only thing that could have weakened the BJP was if the Congress went for all the 7 seats, tried to make a comeback by fielding some strong candidates, but they have buckled under pressure. That's all I'll have to sum up by saying.
Mr. Jha, would you agree that if the India bloc, especially in this matter, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, if they don't appear as a unified force, it is going to work against them. If they don't have an alliance in Punjab, it's going to have a bearing on Delhi. And also, do you think, from what Tushar Gupta is pointing towards, the parity that is being brought about between an Arvind Kejriwal as a challenger to Prime Minister Modi, is that something that really riles the Bharatiya Janata Party, you think?
Let me answer you very quickly. First and foremost, the BJP and its cheerleaders or supporters lie very brazenly. And there is fake news on your show, so let me correct it. It was not the Congress, it was the Lieutenant Governor who filed a complaint on the Delhi liquor scam against the government of Delhi. And that we all know is remote controlled by the central government. So that's the first fact that needs to be told to your viewers. Point number 2, I don't think it's just Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. I think anybody is a better prospective prime minister compared to Mr. Modi. Whether it's going to be Mr. Stalin, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, Mr. Kharge, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mamata Banerjee, Akhilesh Yadav, anyone and everyone will make a better prime minister, will definitely make more compassionate and more liberal and tolerant speeches than Mr. Modi has made during this campaign, which has thoroughly exposed him before the people of India. Point number 3, you have to understand that in politics of accommodation, because we do compete with AAP, but at the same time, this is an alliance, you make tactical adjustments. The Congress and the left are competing in Kerala, but they are partners in West Bengal. It's, by the way, par for the course in coalition politics. Incidentally, with the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress competing separately, they actually give the BJP literally no chance of opening their account in Punjab. You don't allow a consolidation of votes to happen. Similarly, in Delhi, in fighting together, they actually will become a huge threat. My prediction is they'll win anywhere between 3 to 4 minimum. So, I think these are adjustments that are done. The bottom line is this, that the BJP is on the back foot. The BJP knows it is likely to lose this election. They are already below the 50% mark. Now, the
But
NDA
just going
will
back
also
to that
not make it to
point,
the
as far as the BJP is concerned, we are seeing what's happening on the other side. There is an alliance. There is a coming together, a combine of Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. But Smita Gupta, it's almost like the BJP had to go ahead and overhaul its leadership in Delhi. And that indeed sends out a message as well. 6 out of 7 sitting MPs have been replaced this time, including Gautam Gambhir. Manoj Tiwari being the two-time incumbent from Northeast Delhi. He's the only one who stays. The others have been replaced. So what's your reading of the BJP and its standing in Delhi vis-a-vis the kind of candidates they are offering voters there?
I think the BJP was forced to change its candidates, as you pointed out, because obviously the sitting candidates have not, pleased their constituencies. In fact, this has happened in many other parts of the country also. The BJP has been forced in some places to change its candidates, and in places where it has not, it is going against them. The main reason why the BJP gets riled by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal is that Mr. Kejriwal has a way of getting under their skin more than perhaps any other political leader. It's not a question of equivalence that Mr. Kejriwal is the only person who can challenge Mr. Modi. But yes, on the hustings, in his speeches, he has a way of he has forced Mr. Amit Shah to say that no, if Mr. Modi becomes Prime Minister, he will not be changed. Now, this has also sent a message to voters in UP who were hoping that when Mr. Modi turns 75, which he will, I think, in a year and a half, then their Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, would take over. So, forcing the BJP to say what it does not wish to say in public, that is one of Mr. Kejriwal's great strengths. We have seen that in the past. He has a way of riling them in a way that no other political leader can. But that is not a question of equivalence. Once the results are out,
yes,
if the BJP gets its majority, then it's for the BJP to choose its leader. If, on the other hand, the India Alliance manages to get ahead of them,
yes,
then it will be up to them to choose their leader.
Right, and that's for later. But at this point, Smita Gupta, do you see a possible sympathy wave? We started off this discussion by saying that perhaps there is a dent on the image of the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal on the back of the liquor scam. But do you think, on the reverse, there could be possible sympathy for Arvind Kejriwal after his imprisonment?
Certainly, I think the imprisonment has given people are sympathizing with Mr. Kejriwal. They feel that it was done as part of a political vendetta just to stymie him just before the elections. However, the Swati Maliwal campaign, even though a lot of people feel and perhaps know also that it's rather odd that somebody as politically astute as Mr. Kejriwal is going to, get a Rajya Sabha MP, and that to a woman MP, beaten up. So far, there has really been no proof. The kind of, what the cameras have shown has not proven what Ms. Maliwal is saying.
Correct.
I'm not taking sides on this issue, but when you say something, it is rather odd. That's
there are allegations and political rhetoric. It does heat up as far as election time is concerned. But Tushar Gupta, this handshake, this bonhomie between Arvind Kejriwal and Rahul Gandhi, and we heard Mr. Chadda as well talking about how this transfer of votes between the two sides, how seamless do you expect it to be since they've promised this to each other when it comes to Delhi at least?
I don't know what imaginary stories the panelists before me has been making up. I mean, you need to travel in Delhi to understand what's really going on in Delhi. And I have been going around Delhi because that is where I live. Let me tell you, I was at the Hanuman Mandir the day Kejriwal came there to, offer his press. And there wasn't much of a crowd. The complete hype being built around him, it's not actually there. In Ashok Vihar, Rahul Gandhi just did a rally a couple of days back. Absolutely no resonance amongst the locals. I mean, it's all very convenient to sit on national television and pretend that something is happening on the ground, make imaginary stories, call someone a cheerleader. But on the Congress's website, the press release from 4th February 2023, where Ajay Makan elaborates on the excise policy scam, is still there. I'm about to tweet attacking Mr. Sanjay Jha. So if you're talking about the seamless transfer of votes, please understand, BJP had a 55% plus vote share on 5 of the 7 seats in 2019. In 2024, after seeing what Arvind Kejriwal has done in the last 5 years, be it the COVID, be it the riots, be it the CA protest, be it the farmer protest, be it the liquor policy scam, be it the Jal Board scam, be it the poor governance, people are not going to vote for the Aam Aadmi Party. And that is why I said that Congress had an opportunity to make a comeback. But perhaps sometimes one's hatred for Narendra Modi triumphs their common sense even, and that's precisely what's happening on this debate.
Mr. Jha, what do you think about the kind of issues that are at play in these elections in Delhi? Because with the Aam Aadmi Party, at least, we've seen issues like electricity and mohalla clinics and education. They came up as discussion points. Do you think this will still dominate? These kind of issues will still dominate how a voter decides to cast his or her vote this time in the general elections, despite other political rhetoric that we're talking about, whether it's the liquor scam or, with the Maliwal issue, etc.?
Well, what is the truth? The truth is that Delhi was frankly developed into one of the most bustling metropolises during the 15 years of the Congress government. And you have to credit Mr. Kejriwal's government for taking that forward through, the schemes that he's introduced and through all the various initiatives he's taken. It's very easy to sit on the opposite side and be critical. Even I have been so wherever, one has needed to question Aam Aadmi Party. But there can be no denying that for the last 25 years, the BJP has not been in government in Delhi. And why? Because the people of Delhi know that although the BJP has a core vote bank of around 30%, people don't trust the BJP on governance. And I think where the Lok Sabha is concerned so far, it has become a national election based on national security, Pulwama, Balakot, etc., etc. In this election, it is becoming more local issues. And I do think the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress coming together, actually, if you look at the constituency of people who vote for both, they are the same. These are people from the Congress voters who migrated to the AAP. So today, I think the entire base of supporters, which, by the way, if you aggregate the two together, the BJP doesn't catch up at all. And I think in this election, it's becoming local. There is a lot of anti-incumbency against this government because of its, corruption, its poor governance, unemployment.
We are talking about local issues.
People are suffering in Delhi.
No,
and
absolutely.
inflation.
But even if we are talking about local issues in a general election, Smita Gupta, the question about statehood, how legitimate is that as a poll plank this time around? That's what the Aam Aadmi Party has made as a poll plank for itself. But what's the mood among the electorate? How important an issue is it for Delhi this time to get full statehood?
Well, I don't know whether it has resonated with the public, but I think it's a legitimate demand because all the other states, it would help the Delhi government to be able to, fulfill its potential. Because over here, for instance, the police, for instance, is not in the control of the Delhi state government. So I think the demand for statehood is an important issue, but I don't know whether it has resonated with the public because people really don't think that statehood will be ever given to Delhi simply because of its location, because it is located in the national capital. And, whichever government comes to power will, feel that, will probably say that, the security issues are so important
Correct.
that it should be kept in the hands of the central government.
Tushar Gupta, how would the statehood issue really pan out this time, you think, for the electorate? Is it an issue to start with? Oh, we seem to have lost connection with Tushar Gupta. What a pity. I was about to wrap things up because this is going to be a very interesting election to watch. They say Delhi Dilwalo ki. Now, who wins the Dil of Dilliwalas is going to be an important piece, and there are several issues at stake. It has been a highly volatile kind of battle that has played out so far between all the contenders, and now that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress have come together and they've promised this kind of seamless sharing of votes, that is something that is going to be a key watch as far as the outcome of this election is concerned. Smita Gupta, Mr. Jha, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective, and indeed Tushar Gupta, who we've lost connection with, thank you indeed for making the time and being part of this discussion on India Tonight.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.